Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this vlog. I am just getting done with home time. Today is Monday, February 20th. I am here waiting to get loaded at a shipper here in Minnesota that brings me out to the East Coast. I will be going to Wayne, New Jersey for a Wednesday morning delivery. Pretty early too. I believe it's at 8 a.m. So I have to do like 600 some miles a day. If you've watched my vlogs at all, you know I don't like putting in this kind of miles in every day. I like to keep my miles down every day, and today I'm just gonna have to drive out my miles or my hours. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to drive out my hours to get as close as I can to Wayne, New Jersey for an 8 a.m. appointment Wednesday. Now I know there's a truck stop. I think it's like exit 4 on Highway 80. There's a couple of them. As soon as you cross into New Jersey from Pennsylvania, there's also a rest area. So that's my goal for tomorrow, is to get to one of those spots to park for the night. So yeah, we're eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up, cash in the bag.
Well, good morning from New Jersey, Wayne, New Jersey to be exact. It's Wednesday morning. I'm back out here on the East Coast, and I'm making my first delivery this morning. This was one pick, one drop from like St. Paul, Minneapolis area out here to Wayne, New Jersey. Once I check in here, I'll tell you more about what my plan is out here on the East Coast. All right, let's talk a little bit about my plan out here on the East Coast. But first, let's talk about what brought me out here. I picked a load up Monday morning. It was about 11:30 in the morning by the time I was loaded. And I had to be out here this morning at 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. For this delivery. It's currently like 7:30, 7:35 in the morning. I'm waiting for a door here. But I picked a load up in Minnesota. It went, if you saw in the previous clip, 1,231 miles. If you follow me at all, you know I don't like to put in that many miles in a day and drive like my clock out every day. That's something I don't like to do, but I had to do it to make sure I was here by 8 a.m. this morning. And I had to take the tollway out here, which is something else I don't like to do because it's expensive. It cost me like $195 to get out here. But, another thing I had to do is I had to run the speed limit. That's something else I don't like to do. So if the speed limit was 65, my cruise was set to 65. If it was 70, I was going 70 miles an hour. I got great fuel economy until I hit Pennsylvania, and then it dropped to like 7.3 miles a gallon, which is fine. I think I had like 35,000 pounds in the box. That's better than what my Mac was getting once I got to Highway 80 in Pennsylvania. But anyways, that load from Minnesota out here to Wayne, New Jersey paid $4,000. That's $325 a mile to the truck, which is right around the national reefer average in the area I live in. The issue is that's very tough to get right now. And now I'm out here. So let's talk about my plan, because I had a plan before I came out here. And I'm going to put this out there too. If you do not have connections out here on the East Coast, I wouldn't recommend coming out here. Not because there's no freight, but because the rate per mile on that freight has been slashed in half. The lanes that I typically won't run when I'm out here are something I wouldn't do right now. The only reason that I'm comfortable coming out here is, one, I have a customer that I take care of out here on the East Coast, and 2, I have connections. So let's talk a little bit about what my plan is. So before I left Minnesota, I reached out to a broker that I've hauled a lot of freight for in the past, and I have a load that's actually picking up this afternoon and delivers tonight after I'm unloaded here. It's a short hop. It's 120 loaded miles with a 19-mile deadhead. It's paying me $800 to do that. The only reason I booked that load was it covers all my fuel costs. Because I was thinking about going up into like Massachusetts or Connecticut, but the rate to get up there just wasn't worth it for me. So I took a short hop that pays $800. It picks up this afternoon, delivers tonight, and it's going to cover all my fuel costs and protect the revenue that I earned getting out here. So that brings us till Thursday. Now, my customer said, hey, we're not going to have anything ready for you until Friday morning. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is something else I typically don't do. I booked an Uber load. I booked an Uber water load that picks up tomorrow night, I believe at like 11:30 at night, delivers Friday morning at 6 in the morning. It's a total of 60 loaded miles with a 10-mile deadhead from where I unload tonight. And I got that for $500. So the reason I took that load was just so I didn't sit all day Thursday and not have any revenue coming in. But here's the thing. Where I deliver Friday morning is a Sam's Club, like an actual store. They're very quick at unloading. I've delivered to them before, and it puts me 10 miles away from my customer. So I figure, hey, I can make a quick $500. The time 11:30 p.m. till 6 o'clock at night. You know what? After after I get loaded, I'm just gonna go to sleep. It's 60 miles away. I can go to sleep for a few hours, wake up, get unloaded, and then get right to my customer Friday morning to pick up my first load, my first customer load out here on the East Coast. That then brings me to my next customer that gets me back to Minnesota. So I have a plan when I come out here on the East Coast. And I'm going to say this one more time. If you don't have a plan when you get out here, or you don't have connections out here, I wouldn't come out here. Like, the rates, what you used to get for $1,200-$1,300, they're trying to push for $500-$600 right now, and it's not worth it, because it's going to take you all day. You might think 220 miles isn't a lot of miles. It is out here on the East Coast when you're fighting traffic. You're paying tolls. Some, if you choose to like cross the George Washington, you're paying astronomical amount of money in tolls. So just make sure you have a plan when you come out here on the East Coast. Interesting. You walk into this facility when they call you and give you a door and wait for them to come to that dock door and take your paperwork, and then they tell you to go back out to your truck. It's 9 o'clock, so I've been waiting an hour past my appointment. Hopefully I can get unloaded quickly because I do have another appointment scheduled.
Enormous instantaneous.
And I'm backed into the dock here at my pickup for today. I have an open window appointment, but they gave me a dock as soon as I got here, and hopefully they're gonna load me quick. It was from like 10:30 until 4:30, I think. My appointment's not until 9 o'clock tonight, 120 miles away from here. So I don't mind getting loaded now. There is a truck stop about 20 miles away from where I delivered tonight. So I think what I'm gonna do is get loaded, just drive to that truck stop and maybe get like an 8-hour, 7-hour sleeper berth in, if I can. Otherwise, you know, I'll just stop my clock and take a 2 or 3 hour nap. Well, here's my $800 load. 2, 4, 6, 7 total pallets. Hardly took up any room in the trailer. Well, it is no joke today out here in Pennsylvania. The fog is absolutely ridiculous. I've made it here to my delivery to Wegmans in, I believe it's Pottsville, Pennsylvania. I'm here about an hour and a half early. Yeah, I mean, I can barely see in front of me. Well, it's 9:35 p.m. I'm currently unloaded here at Wegmans. Very simple delivery. It was 8 pallets. A few of the pallets only had a couple of boxes on it. I think the total weight was like 2,000 pounds or something like that. It was super small load. Now I need to find a truck stop. I think there's a TA about 45, 50 miles away from where I am. I'm in Pottsville off of Highway 81. I'm not too familiar with this area, so I think I'm gonna have to go up to like Highway 80 and find a truck stop. So yeah, that's the plan. Yo, look how crazy this fog is. This is ridiculous, man. This is gonna be a crappy drive to a truck stop. Well, I was able to find a parking spot. Perfect. I got the last parking spot, like an actual spot at a Love's, off of Highway 80 and exit, man, I don't even know, 253? I don't know. That doesn't sound right. But I found a Love's, but let me show you what I had to deal with. So these 2 trucks right here are parked in front of the scale. I'm in a spot right now, but I had to wake that guy up right there to back his truck up so I could make the swing into this spot. I also knocked on the Freightliner that's right there, and he wouldn't even come to his door. If you're new to trucking, I get that finding parking sucks and it's hard. But you know what? Don't block other people from getting into parking spots when you go to sleep and you're parked in a non-parking spot. Well, good afternoon. Today is Thursday. It's currently about 2:30 in the afternoon. I haven't given an update on my East Coast vlog right now, so I figured I'd do it now. I got here to a Love's right off of Highway 80, and I forget the exit, last night. And now I'm just sitting in the back of the trailer. I opened the trailer up this morning just to let it kind of air out and freshen up a little bit. It doesn't smell or anything like that. I just believe open it when I have time, opening my doors and just letting fresh air into the trailer. I don't pick up until 11:55 tonight. So yeah, I've just been hanging out all day. Went in and took a shower this morning. Got a great night's sleep. I haven't been sleeping well lately when I'm in the truck. Maybe sleeping for like 3-4 hours and then being up the rest of the time. So I got a good night's sleep, and yeah, now I'm just sitting here in the back of my trailer hanging out. I got tired of sitting up in the front of the truck or in the bunk. I got out and walked around more than once, went and talked to the mechanics in the shop, you know, just trying to kill the time. But yeah, like I said, I have a pickup later tonight, and then I take care of a customer tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to drive straight there after I unload tomorrow morning, and I'm sure I can get loaded right away. But yeah, thought I'd give you all an update. Well, here I am for my Uber load, my $500 Uber load. All miles is 83 miles. It's like over $6 a mile for this water load. And the only reason I'm doing it is it gets me, I'm currently 70 miles away from my customer, and this will get me within 10 miles of my customer to pick up tomorrow. Yeah, I've done these loads before. It's going to a I'll talk more once I get to the dock. Well, here at Niagara, you have to slide your tandems all the way to the back, which is something I do anyways. This is the first Niagara facility I've been to that doesn't have like those little lights, arrows. If you know what if you've ever picked up a water load, you know what I'm talking about. They don't have the little arrows here, which is nice. Anyways, I'm gonna take my load bars out and open my doors here. Well, I misspoke. This facility does have the arrows, they're just not turned on. Funny story. I was talking to Cash is King a couple of months ago on the phone, picking up a water load out of Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. And I must have tried backing up like 30 times on the phone. I was getting so pissed. He was laughing at me. Anyways, I finally stopped the yard jockey out there at that Niagara water and said, hey, I can't get my trailer straight enough. And the jockey started laughing and said, oh, those are broken. Don't follow them. Back up to the dock. If you get a red light, you're good. Well, I got a red light right away here, so I must be good. Yep, they're loading me. Or the robot's loading me. Yeah, a little bit about this load. All miles are 83 miles. It was 23 mile deadhead. I have 60 miles to make my delivery. My delivery isn't until tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. It's currently 11:30 right now. It's delivering to a Sam's Club. Super easy unload. I've delivered these water loads many times. Yeah, $500 to go 83 miles. That's over $6 a mile. I'll do that all day long. And especially when it's working, when it's like a plan that I have. It's not huge profit. I'm not saying woo, but there's a reason why I'm hauling this load. It's to get me to my customer. So it worked out. So yeah, I'll catch you all later. Well, I am loaded here at this Niagara water facility. It is 12:10. Tell you what, man, it is hard closing the doors and everything with one hand. But yeah, I'm unloaded. Now I have a decision to make. Do I drive straight to the receiver and just stay in their parking lot? Or do I try and find a spot to park for a few hours? So, we're loaded. Well, good morning. It's 9:30 a.m. I got unloaded about 5:30 a.m., pulled off to the corner side of the building here where there's a bunch of empty Walmart trailers, and took a nap for a while. I was really tired. So now I'm gonna head to the customer. My pickup isn't until 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'm not far away at all. I'm like 10, 12 miles away. So let me get to the customer, and then I will break down like everything I did coming out here the last couple of days, what I did waiting for my customer to have a load for me. Well, good morning. I'm just waiting at my customer to get loaded. I unloaded last night on a customer load. But I wanted to end this vlog of my East Coast little deal that I'm doing out here, and I wanted to talk about something I had mentioned earlier in the video, and that's protecting my profit and why I chose to book some of the loads that I booked. Normally when I come out here to the East Coast, I have lanes that I run from like New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania into Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. There's still plenty of that freight out here. The problem is they're not paying on it. So I don't want to run it because you're getting up into 300 miles, 350 miles, and they're just not paying for it. So what I chose to do was to take two short hauls. I took one load for $800 and another load for $500. I think they're going to tell me to go into, no, they're looking at another truck. To protect my profit from the load that I brought from Minnesota out to New Jersey, because that's a very profitable load to my business, and I wanted to protect that. So I booked that load for $800 the other day that only went like 120 miles. And then I booked another load for $500 that I would have had to deadhead those miles to this customer, or to the customer that I picked up for yesterday. Instead, I booked a $500 load that brought me within 10 miles of that customer. So I was planning on deadheading and found a load that paid $500. So what I did with those two loads, that $800 load and that $500 load, is I have protected all the profit for the load that brought me out to the East Coast, and I have protected all the profit from the East Coast back to Minnesota. And let me share with you why. So I fueled up this morning. I put 101 gallons of truck fuel and 27 gallons of reefer fuel. I paid $3.40 for my fuel. So I pumped $343.30 of truck fuel and $91.80 of reefer fuel. I don't need any DEF yet. I'm still at a quarter tank, which the way this truck goes through DEF, I'll be able to make it all the way back to probably Wisconsin. But anyways, I ended up spending $435.10 on diesel fuel this morning for the truck and trailer, truck and trailer. That still leaves me $364.90 out of that $800 load that I took that went 120 miles. So I protected the profit for coming out here with that $800 load and still have $364.90 left over from that. Plus, I added another $500 with that load, that short little water load I did. So I have protected between that $500 load and the $800 load. That is going to be all my fuel. I mean, more than my fuel. And if I decide to take tolls, I've just covered my tolls too. That's what I'm doing right now in this market. I am playing defense. And what do I mean by that? Well, strong defenses usually win championships. I mean, that's facts, you know. Strong defenses win championships. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm playing defense and protecting all the good profit miles, like the good profit loads to my business, because there is a lot of revenue in the load that brought me out here and the load that's bringing me back to Minnesota. I used to make really good profit in the middle out here on the East Coast, and right now I'm not. So I chose to stop running those lanes to Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island and just focus on short little loads that generate me enough revenue to cover all my fuel costs and all my tolls. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying it out, to be honest. This is the first time I'm trying it out. But I'm going to do it moving forward because my gross for 5 days was $6,400. Like, that's still really good on 1,695 miles. You take out the, you take out the 10%, that's $5,760 to me, the contractor, and then obviously I have all my expenses. But That's what I'm going to start doing when I come out here on the East Coast, is play defense. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this super long vlog. I know they get boring. But anyways, till next time, you know what it is. Boom.